Is the motion moved by the Leader of the Opposition seconded? I call the member for Rankin. Sure, member for Rankin. Yes, the leader of the member. Hang on, if the member for Rankin can just resume his seat, and I'll call the Leader of the House.
The Leader of the Opposition gave a short summary of part of question time yesterday. Then he put a proposal to the Prime Minister. Then he went off on a tangent. Then he was the subject of a close.
No, I've got to say to the Leader of the House. No, members on both sides. You're now interjecting on me. I can't hear this point of order. I have to call for a seconder for the motion. No, members on my left. I'll decide who stands up, sits down and gets ejected. Okay, that sort of works. Yes, hang on. You don't have the call at the moment. Okay. I'm going to call the Leader of the House, but I'm going to point out to him that the standing orders require that I ask for a seconder immediately. The Leader of the House, briefly.
Mr. Speaker, it doesn't appear that there is actually a motion before the House.
Where is it? Where is it? Just confirm.
I'll hear from the manager. What are you saying? You don't have a copy of the motion?
Speaker, there was no.
The Leader.
There was a summary of question time yesterday. There was a proposal which he sought agreement from us on. He then went off on a tangent. He was then closed, but there was no actual motion before the chair.
Well, I've just asked the Manager of Opposition Business to resume his seat. I mean, I'm not quite sure that the point the Leader of the House is trying to make. I mean, I heard the motion. The motion's I can verify has been signed. It's been seconded. I'm not quite sure the point the Leader of the House is trying to make. I mean, does the Manager of Opposition Business want to read it again, or is it? And I just say, I mean, in all practicality, whether it's a technical point you're trying to make, I mean, I didn't hear anything that was wrong with the motion, but even if there was, that would just mean another motion would be moved immediately. But I'll hear from the Manager of Opposition Business.
The Leader of the House is right that there's not currently a motion before the House because it hasn't yet been seconded.
That's right. That's that is exactly why it needs to be seconded before it's in possession of the House.
But once it's seconded, then it will be before the House. At the moment, it's been moved. It'll be moved. You've called for a seconder. The motion is what the Leader of the Opposition moved. He stood up and said that he moved that so much of standing orders be suspended, and then went on as would prevent the House immediately debating the state of the Australian economy, with the Prime Minister and Leader of the Opposition speaking for a period of up to 10 minutes each, and 4 other members speaking for a period of up to 5 minutes each. That's what he moved. And if it's seconded, it'll then be a motion before the House.
The Manager of Opposition Business can resume his seat. Members on my left, member for Rankin, just relax, okay? You'll get there. How long you'll get there for, I'm not so sure, but you'll get there. Just for the clarity of members, maybe this is where some of the confusion lies. The Leader of the Opposition didn't seek leave to move a motion. He simply moved that standing orders be suspended and be suspended for the purposes outlined in the motion. The standing orders do make clear that I need to call for a seconder once the motion has been seconded, and that has been dealt with, and I'm then in a position to state the question. Until I actually state the question to the House, the motion isn't before the House. So I'm going to now just call for a seconder, and I'll ask the member. Well, the member for Rankin was seeking the call before. Member for Rankin.
Seconded. Today they run from a debate on the economy.